Johnny Wharff along with Neil Gregory into the Marietta High School Athletic Hall of Fame this year. First of all, congratulations. And Mr. Gregory, maybe you can share with us some thoughts as a player, as a coach in the school system, as a fan, and then I know for a long time I recall as running the booster program. So there's a lot of different angles into you going into this.
I have. I started in high school, my sophomore year, junior year, senior year, and I had some great teammates that was with me, and that's how I got the award, is thanks to them.
When we think about an athlete going in, a lot of them play 3 or 4 years, and then they go off and they go about their life. But you've stayed here and you've maintained a part of this program.
Yes, I have. I just, after high school, I went to college for a year, and then I came back home and I coached the Reno Warriors over here. I was assistant coach, but we had 2 years that nobody scored on us, and I thought that was great, and maybe it's because of me playing defense all those years. And then after that, we got into the Booster Club, and we worked there, my wife and I, and supported the boys, my sons. Then after that, we still support the Marietta Tigers, going to their games, but I'm always a Tiger fan. I just love them. I root for them every Friday night.
Neil Gregory is our guest going into the Marietta High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony set for October 21st on a Saturday evening. You mentioned your sons. And one of the things as a business owner that I look at is if it says Eagle Scout on a resume, that goes right to the top. That's a pretty good accomplishment in its own right.
It was. I'm very proud of my sons, Scott Gregory, Kyle Gregory, Chris Gregory. They were all Eagle Scouts, and they've done well for themselves.
All right. A lot of that comes from good parenting, I would say, as well. Let's look back at athletic career, okay? You're going to say many years ago, and for some of us, I peaked as an athlete in 7-year-old T-ball, so I only have one memory, but you probably have a lot of. Can you grab one or two games or players or coaches that jump out?
Yes, I can start back when I was a sophomore, and this was when we got beat 69-7 by the Big Reds, but that kind of turned us around from that season, and we went on to I think we had a 5-4 record that year, and 2 of the games was Lancaster and Zanesville, and they only beat us by a couple points that year. Then the next year we were undefeated, and we started out with Athens, and then we ended up with Newark, and we ended up beating Newark 3 years in a row. I'm getting ahead of myself, but that was it was great.
Talk a little bit about, I see that, we hear about it's Scotty Hamilton as a coach, and nobody really not very many people got to experience it, but you did.
Yes, Scotty, I had him 2 years as a coach, and he was a guidance counselor at the school, so we saw him every day, and but he had a way that he could get the best out of a boy. He just he just never got mad, very seldom, never yelled, but he was a psychologist, and he could manipulate things to get us to do things. We just loved the guy.
When we look at your accomplishments outside of athletics, obviously we talked about your children, and we think about all your associations with the different organizations that you're involved with now. And I look back and think about how you try to mold those things in, at a young age. And I see your senior year, not only were you the most outstanding football player, but you were president of the class. That's packing a lot.
I wasn't president of the
M team.
The M Association.
The M Association. Maybe,
I'm sorry.
No. Explain, trying to add those things in on top of playing sports and getting the great grades that I'm sure you did.
Well, I wasn't a great student, and but no, my senior year I was president of the M Association, and so I had to contact all the athletes on individual sports, and they voted for their most outstanding player that year. And if I could mention them, we had Dick McKenna was the basketball outstanding, and then I was the football. Bob Fogel was my best friend. He's track, and then we had Steve Guckert, and he was the cross country, and Skip Pape was the golf. And
so those are some names that jump out if anybody has any historical knowledge about Marietta High School and athletics. Lastly, I'll just ask you to maybe sum up, the honor in terms of being asked and going into this Hall of Fame.
It's a great honor. This is only the third year that Duckworth has put this together, and it's surprising because there's a lot of good athletes out there, and some of them won recognized by All-State or All-COL, and I had the privilege of both of them, and it's been great.
That's fantastic. And I said last question, but sometimes I throw a little bonus question in there. Talk a little bit about the night of October 21st. Who will be your presenter?
My presenter will be John Matthews. He was had a Silver Heels in town here. He's a businessman. Been my best friend ever since grade school. And he's going to do a good job.
All right. Neil Gregory, class of 1961, Marietta High School, class of 1917, Marietta High School Athletic Hall of Fame.